So we are just be talking about the mediation role. So we have Avais Chaudhry and Omnaya from the Ankara. So what do you think about the mediation role between the Afghanistan and the Pakistan? The Qatar and Turkey government play a very vital role for the mediation between both of them. How you can see Avais Chaudhry all these things?
Well, I think first of all, we should appreciate both of countries how they step in and they mediated between their brother countries between Pakistan and Afghanistan to don't let these skirmishes on forefront. So I think both countries' role is very important in the Muslim world. The efforts they are paying in diplomacy and Turkey's role is very important, not just in Asia, but also in Africa and the influence they have in Western countries also. Because due to the geographical location of Turkey between East and West, they have to play this role, and the efforts, diplomatic efforts they put in mediating the conflict between Ethiopia and Somalia and the other in the Horn of Africa region. So I think Turkey's role is very important. And if we look recently, if we look at in the context of Syria, how Turkey mediated and how Turkey basically resolved this whole conflict. And President Trump also mentioned President Erdogan that the key to peace in Syria is in Erdogan's hand or is in Turkey's hand. So I think it's very important that. You have so much influence. And Qatar, if we're talking about Qatar, a very a very friendly relation with the Western and Muslim countries, and they are hosting Hamas Hamas team, and their offices are also in Qatar. Hamas and Taliban's offices are in Qatar. They are operating from there, and they basically provide their land to just come in to negotiate and resolve these conflicts. And I think their significance was very important when they play a role in mediating between USA and Taliban in 2019 in 2020, and then the Qatar peace deal came in front. So I think both countries' role is very important in diplomacy and also in this context.
Okay, so what's your take on this, Somnaya? How you can see the Turkey role for the mediation between the Pakistan and Afghanistan into the this modern era after the war between the Pakistan and India? How you can see all these things?
Mhm. Turkey has been a mediator also in the war that happened between Pakistan and India. Turkey's role has been noticeable also in Israeli-Palestinian issue, and Qatar has set the procedures for the deal that they stop the war between the two countries. So both of them are doing diplomatic roles that are important, and I think Turkey is also supporting Qatar in this matter. But both of them they happen to be yes leading negotiations and very active diplomatically, and this is really important for all the countries. You know, for the stability of the region. We also see that. International relations is really changing from the past. So there is really a shift, you know, between conferences and important events happening back then, like in Europe or in other capitals in the West. We see that important events are happening in the East, like in Istanbul, or the negotiations that have been happening in Sharm el-Sheikh or whatever. So this can also be said that it is a shift because the European Union is not really strong as before. We know that they really have problems, not as before this. So and I think that Qatar and Turkey's role is important for the stability of the region and mediating in such tensions.
Yeah, this is actually a understandable thing that the Turkey are not only a part only into this mediation, but in the past when we get see against the Palestine, what the Israeli has been doing, the slaughtering the innocent peoples,
Mhm.
that Turkey is one of the powerful country that who always been talk about the innocent peoples of the Palestine. As we can see, the OIC at right now, as my perspective, the one of the leading country into the OIC,
Yes, this is
only the
also what
Palestine.
Erdogan said in
Yeah.
his UN speech. He
Mm.
said that we are going to make Istanbul the center for, these international relations events. So it is something that is planned, and both of the two countries are supporting each other in this plan.
Yeah, but only the Turkey and Erdogan, their policy regarding the OIC and the Muslim Ummah particularly and specifically, this is really an plausible. So we can see the different shift in the international relations because we all know that the international relations is not a static one. They are been always been changed with the passage of the time. We are not predicting. The world is the war on which literally
Mhm.
every country as we can see the India and Pakistan, Pakistan and Iran, Afghanistan and Pakistan, Israel and Iran. The world is full of chaos. Even Iran and USA as well, we can see in the past. So we can see the Turkey role into all these wars. They are really deliverable against their policies when they are literally doing one of the best thing into to actually to unifying the Muslim Ummah. They are particularly wrote for the unifying the Ummah. They are doing literally very well into these things. So you are both the students of the IR that you are being linked within the IR different activities. You are studying IR that you have a knowledge of what actually currently having into the world. So, what do you think about Amna, the future of the Pakistan and Afghanistan, or these relatable conflict into the South Asian politics?
Yeah, okay, so unfortunately these kinds of tensions they affect South Asian politics in like negative way, but I don't think that this tension is going to really escalate. So I think we can see positive events in the near future because of the diplomatic negotiations. But at least maybe we can see that Afghanistan, it knows that Pakistan can give an answer, to these terrorist attacks. So maybe then we can see like different approaches from Afghanistan, but still it does not also, make Pakistan have the right to do so in another sovereign state. So you cannot be like, because you are a sovereign state, you want to stop another sovereign state, you will take this action, but still it do the problems really worse. But I think in the near future they can collaborate with each other. Like as I said, when India attacked Pakistan, Afghanistan supported Pakistan. So I don't think that both countries can like leave each other, in a weak state. They should be supporting each other. So maybe yeah, this conflict won't escalate really.
So, Ash Chaudhary, Omnia answer regarding the future must raise some questions about the Pakistan and Afghanistan. She's talking about the external factors or the external countries, and they are put uh, into the Afghan territory. If Pakistan and Afghanistan is going to be escalated war in some other days or some other months or maybe in year later, so there's not war between only the two countries, as we know that from the backside, they are being spotted by the Indians as well. So how can you see the future between the both countries?
My views are a bit different. We are very realistic, and I think, as we know, that South Asia always been a hub of different conflicts between different countries. So, in the near future, I don't think there will be any kind of good relations between both countries. So, I see the blurry future, near future between both countries until and unless the Taliban regime changes their mind and they changes their policy. And we all are a student of IR, and we know how a state should react on international forums. They are not cooperating on the issue of education, or not. They are not giving rights to women's education and there are a lot of prohibition in Afghanistan. So I think they are not they are cooperating with the European Union, not with the West, and not they are behaving in a way sovereign state should behave in international arena. So I think these are the key issues with the current regime of Afghanistan. Until and unless they resolve these issues, I think there will be no there's gonna be no very good future between both countries. But as Omnia said, that no one will win this war. It's not in the benefits of Pakistan or Afghanistan to keep these military skirmishes continue. I think obviously casualties will happen on both sides. So I think both countries should negotiate, and Taliban should they must behave in a way to cooperate with Pakistan. And I think in this context, China's role is very important because they have a huge investment. They have a very large plans for Afghanistan. I think they can play a role the way they are connecting the different regions and through trade routes. I think they can play a role in this way. But again, the same thing I will say that until and unless if Taliban will not behave, the sovereign state have known that what they have to do and they are doing it. And recently, Defense Minister Khwaja Asif said that after these efforts of Muslim countries, Qatar and Turkey, if the attacks will not stop from the Afghanistan start, we will not think twice to go after these elements and we will hit them harder. So yeah, the policy is very clear from the Pakistani side. We are ready for cooperation, but we will not present our civilians to just come and butcher them. So yeah, this is the policy.
Actually, this statement of the Khwaja Asif, the foreign minister, the defense minister of the Pakistan, this statement has come in the reaction of the Afghan foreign minister or maybe defense minister when they are be talking to the media, and they said, "We are the peoples. We are the peoples from the graveyards. We have fought with the Soviet Union and from the U.S. invasion." I think this is somehow ignorant. What we can say, like arrogant people. Their body gesture. This is not a simple word that have been used by the foreign minister or the defense minister or the state official that who have been coming in front of the international media and talking about like this. This is actually not a this is not a gesture for the peace. This is just gestures for if you should do something, we will be do harder than this. This is somehow competition that you are being inviting to someone that do against us. So we will be sure to you what we are. We are in countries that who fought with U.S. from the Soviet Union. That's the time of the right. But this is at that time that was not in a modern era. This is, and today if we are talking about every countries have been like have their powers more than capabilities, more capabilities than anyone. If we are talking about the Pakistan, they are the nuclear power, they have more weapons, they have fighter jets, so they are know how to reply to these elements. And when their state officials is come in front of the international media and talking about these time of stuff. So I personally believe it that when the state officials, yep,
Yeah, it's a very vague perspective that
perspective,
Afghanistan has been graveyard of empires. So if okay, so if you believe that you just lost the British Empire or Soviets or anything else, USA, what you get in return? There's no education, there's no liberty, or women are sitting inside. There's no free media. You are not letting the organizations to work in Afghanistan. You are not letting companies to come and invest in your countries on their own term. You are very rigid with your ideologies in the 21st centuries. So this not gonna be happen for the betterment of the Afghan people. Our sympathies are with the Afghan peoples, but the way their government and their regime is behaving, this is not the things of the 21st century.
yeah, that's the thing. Actually, they push up to the Afghan officials to talk about these type of the statements in front of the international media. And one thing it is, these type of the statements never came and never ever come up from the Pakistan officials. That's actually a good thing. So, Omnia, what's your take on this? After these situations, what countries should do, what countries officials should do to calm up these situations, not flare up these situations by using these vague words. What's your take on this as a diplomatic measures, as a diplomatic toss, what they should do?
Yeah, so I agree with what has been mentioned. We like Pakistan has to understand the really the regime in Afghanistan. Afghanistan has nothing to lose, and this is what they have been claiming. This is uh, they have like some ideals of extremism. Yeah, there is no education, there is no investment, so they really have nothing to lose. So dragging Pakistan into a war with Afghanistan, Pakistan will be the losing side because of course, both of them will be losing, but Afghanistan has nothing to lose, as we mentioned. So Pakistan has to be careful in interacting with Afghanistan and really trying to sort out this problem without being dragged into a war. Okay, so because then it will be losing more.
I think
Uh,
the unmatchable loss from the both sides, that is the loss of the peoples. I think if the loss of the instruments or somehow their jets or the fighter or something like weapons, this is a loss where we can repair, we can buy something
yeah, yeah,
like this
yeah.
from the other countries. But if
Mhm.
we specifically talk about the loss of the human, this is unmatchable loss from the both side. Actually, we
Mhm.
three are, and I think every sensible person never ever support the war. War is not a like solution to every problem, but the mediation role, what the third party has been doing, like in this matter, specifically we're talking about the Turkish and the Qatar, what they have been doing for the mediation role. This is actually a good thing, and we every country should support these type of gestures from the different countries.
Yes, yes. So yes, as you mentioned, their roles is really important, so that they make sure that both countries are like acting according to the international law and according to the procedures that has have been put. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Avas Chaudhary, Omnia, for joining us. It's really thank you from my audience sides and from me that you took it at your busiest time to come into my show, Think Paul, and shed some light on some essential facts regarding to the Afghanistan and Pakistan, the recent conflict. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, we thank you as well.